Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to any new people I might have you in this video today. So this one again was voted for on my Instagram to do, and today I'm going to be doing a assumptions video for wheelchair users and disabilities. So this one for me was a bit of a nice video to film, purely because it gives me a bit of a chance to eliminate some of the assumptions that people do have and kind of give people a different perspective of it. So the first two questions that I had were like interlinking with each other. So they were, your legs don't work and you cannot feel your legs. So whilst not every person in a wheelchair can feel the legs and can use their legs, I can. So my legs do work, and I can feel my legs. Now, things like knocks and bangs hurt a lot more than what they probably would to someone that was walking, because your nerves become a lot more sensitive when you're not obviously using your legs. So I can use my legs, but I just can't stand up because of conditions that I have. So to eliminate those two straight away, yes, my legs do work, and yes, I can feel my legs. One of my friends is paralysed, so it's obviously different for him. So don't just presume because someone's in a wheelchair that they can't feel their legs, but then don't also make the assumption that because they're in a wheelchair they can. It's all to do with the condition that you have, or what's wrong with you, the accident that you had, the illness that you might have. So just don't make any assumptions about things like that, because it can put people under quite a lot of pressure. Because obviously for me, I can just sit here and say, yeah, I can feel them, my legs work fine. But for other people, that might be quite a hard question for them to be faced with. So the next one was, do you get congratulated for leaving the house? So it's not necessarily much congratulated, but a lot of people say like, well done to me. And when I worked in retail, people made comment about how I'd left the house and how I wasn't just sat around all the time doing nothing. And I think people have the assumption that people in wheelchairs can't do stuff. Now, when I was working in retail again, I had quite a lot of comments about people saying to me, like, oh my God, you're in a wheelchair and you're working. And for me, that was really hard, because I'd gone from being active and fit and healthy and doing what I wanted to do to being in a wheelchair, but then still wanting to pursue and carry on. So that was really difficult for me, having to be put in a position where I still wanted to do what I wanted to do, but it seemed that the public had a very different opinion of what I should be doing. But yeah, you do get congratulated for leaving the house, you do get a well done, and sometimes it's nice because sometimes you can feel awful, and I know I do. I feel absolutely dreadful sometimes, and I'll leave the house, I'll get out, I'll go and get some fresh air, and you yourself feel good that you've managed to do that. But it's not always necessary for people to make a comment, and that's the hard part, because for that to be an assumption from somebody else, that's difficult, that people think that you need congratulating. It's like, we're just the same as you. Do you get congratulated for walking? No. Like, it shouldn't be such a big difference, and at the minute it is. And there's such a big change between able-bodied and disabled, and it would just be nice if they just came together and there wasn't any difference, because at the end of the day, we're still the same people. We're no different as a person. We just can't use our legs, we just can't stand up, we could just have to be in a wheelchair. There's no difference of who we are or what we can and can't do. And another one I had was, your brain doesn't work if you're in a wheelchair. Well, that's completely and utterly wrong. My brain does work. I've got a part-time placement, I go to university 2 days a week, and I'm very, very, very much capable of doing stuff. I do acting part-time, so my brain does work, and I can leave the house. So the next one I had was, you just stay in bed all day. No, that's not true at all. I mean, I'm not in bed now, so no, I don't stay in bed all day. Like I just said then, I go to university, I have a part-time placement, I do acting part-time, I'm always busy. I think it would be quite nice sometimes for my body just to go, let me just stay in bed for one day. But again, that's not what I want to do. I want to carry on. I want to almost persist as if nothing's wrong, which I probably shouldn't do. I probably should let my body rest and recuperate sometimes, but that's just me. That's who I've always been, and I'm not going to change that just because of the position I'm now in. The next one was, do all people in wheelchairs have strong arm muscles? Does it look like I have strong arm muscles? Not at all. So obviously there's different types of wheelchairs. So there's self-propelled, where obviously you're pushing yourself. And then there's electric, and then there's ones where people push you in. So I've actually had the experience of all of them. So to start off with, I was in one where I was pushed, and I went into a self-propelled one, and then I went into an electric one. So for me, electric wheelchairs are a lot better because of the condition I have. But I also do know a lot of people that are in wheelchairs that are strong, because imagining you pushing your own body weight around all day, every day, and the weight of a wheelchair, like, it's hard, it's difficult. And yeah, I go out in my self-propelled wheelchair, but I don't choose to go out in that one. It's not my chosen one. I do just prefer going out in my electric wheelchair just because it's easier for me and it's a lot more comfortable. But no, people in wheelchairs do not just have strong arm muscles. So this next one was a bit of a funny one for me. So it was, do you become an inspiration to everyone? Now, I've always had this opinion of being an inspiration and stuff to people, and you should be an inspiration to a person because of what you do and who you are as a person, not the way you look, not the things that you are limited by and that you try and overcome. I don't want to inspire people just because I'm in a wheelchair. That's not who I want to be. That's not what I want to do. If I'm going to inspire anyone, I want to inspire people because of who I am, because of my mindset, my principles in life, my motivations, not because of the chair. And that for me is a massive thing. And yeah, I'm more than happy for people to say, oh, you're so inspiring, but I don't just want it to be, I'm inspiring people because of the position I'm in my life. I want it to be because of who I am and what I've achieved and what I can do. But you do get it quite a lot, and sometimes it can be quite patronising because it's, oh, you're so inspiring, you're so brave. And sometimes you just want to be treated as if you were walking. And I know I'm not, and I know it's no hidden secret that I'm not walking, but it would just be nice to feel as though, even though I am in a wheelchair, there is no difference between me and my best mate who's walking. And we can both inspire people for the same reasons. So yeah, that is a big one. It does happen a lot, but sometimes it can be patronising, sometimes it can be quite nice. But just make it for the right reasons, guys. If you are going to say to someone that they're inspiring you, if they've got a disability or if they're in a wheelchair, just be mindful of how that person would feel, and just be mindful of, if you were in that position and you were in a wheelchair, you wouldn't want to just inspire someone because of the position you're in your life. You'd want to inspire someone because of you, because of who you are. So just be mindful of the way that you would say things like that to people. The next one, you need a carer 24/7. No, I'm not going to lie and say it's easy and say that I don't need help, because I do. I need help, but so does anyone. You can't get through life without asking for help or getting help of other people. So I don't view myself as any different. Obviously, there's things that I need help with that other people wouldn't need help with that weren't in my position, but that doesn't mean to say that I need a carer 24/7, which I just definitely don't. If I'm going out and stuff, like I said, I go to university, I do acting, I had a part-time placement. I didn't need assistance whilst I was there. The only help I needed would be help that someone that was walking would need, and that was just help as in, what am I doing? Can you assist me with this bit of work? obviously there is some stuff where I need help off my dad if I'm going out and we've gone to the shop or stuff like that, and I would need a bit of assistance with that, but I wouldn't view that as being different. Everyone in life will need help at some point, but no, I do definitely do not need a carer 24/7, and I know a lot of people in wheelchairs that don't as well. So the next one, doctors speak to you like you are a child. If I said no, I'd be lying. Yes, doctors do speak to you as if you're a child, and the next question, the few questions down would have been, people speak to who you are with rather than you. That is so true, and I've had to now start going to appointments by myself, which is hard because with the conditions that I've got, I do struggle with my memory and things, so going into an appointment and having to go in by myself is difficult because I'm trying to remember everything that they're telling me. And an appointment I had before lockdown lasted for just over 2.5 hours. So as you can imagine, anybody would have been like, their brain would have been fried by the time they came out of it. So yeah, people do speak to you as if you're a child and as if you need additional help. And people do speak to you to who you're with rather than you, which is annoying, and it's a bit like, I'm not a child, I can handle it. And I don't know why people feel the need to do that, because I've never given the impression that I need somebody else to be there for them to give an opinion on how I'm feeling, because ultimately the only person that knows how I'm feeling is me. The only person who knows how much pain I'm in is me. And when doctors do speak to your parents or whoever you're with, it is so infuriating. I always remember one appointment where my dad was actually asked to leave the room and speak to the consultant in a different room away from me. Now, I didn't appreciate that at all because I'm not a child, I can take it, and it was annoying that I then had to find out from my dad what the consultant thought because he told my dad, not me. So that was quite hard to contend with to start off with, but now I'm going into my appointments on my own. People have been a lot more straight with me. And yeah, sometimes it is hard being in an appointment on your own and all of these different things being thrown at you, but at the same time, it's just nice that they actually sit back, listen, and take in what you're saying rather than ask your parents or whoever you're with. This one was really quite interesting for me because it's quite apparent at the moment. So, is it harder to go away on holidays? Now, yes, it is. So, I was meant to be going away this summer, and we've had the holiday booked for just under 2 years because, as you can imagine, the lack of accessible rooms is massive. So, I go on cruises, and there isn't that many accessible cabins. So, you have to book so far in advance, and as soon as that release date comes out for that cruise, you have to get it. And if you don't get it, you'll struggle. So, obviously my holiday this year has been cancelled and gutted because I've been waiting for so long. But anyway, we've managed to get one for next year, which is great because we never thought we'd get one. And we've had to, which isn't a bad thing, we've had to get a better cabin because there was no cabins left that were accessible that I was in this year. So we've had to get an upgrade almost on our cabins to make sure I can obviously have an accessible cabin because I need the facilities, as in things in the shower. I need a bigger shower so I can have a seat in it. Obviously I need more space because I need to be able to get around in my wheelchair. So it is harder to go away on holidays, and I can't fly. So anything that we want to do as a family to go on holiday, we have to be able to do it from the UK. So that's why cruises are quite good for us. And we haven't just started cruising since I've been in the wheelchair. I've been cruising since I was 6. So we can cruise from the UK. Southampton's usually where we go from. And then you can go to the Mediterranean, the Baltic. So we were meant to be going to the Mediterranean this year, but because of everything going on in the world right now, we couldn't go. So we've actually changed it to go to the Baltics next year. So Poland, Sweden, Russia, Norway, which I'm super excited for because every time I've been to Norway, I've absolutely loved it. So yes, it is harder to go away on holidays. Does it stop me? Not at all. The next one, this is more of a statement rather than a question, assumption kind of thing. which was, it is absolutely amazing the way you are trying to normalise disabilities. I find it incredible. Now, this for me really struck because going through my feed on Instagram, I think I've got probably about 5 other people that are in wheelchairs on my feed. Now, I'm not saying, oh, I want my feed to be overrun with disabilities. I'm not saying that at all. But having a balance would be so nice, because as someone that is in a wheelchair, I find it really difficult to start off with to post pictures in my chair. And you'll see on my feed where I've kind of gone from posting in my wheelchair to then just posting pictures of me where it's just like this kind of shot, to then going back and posting stuff in my wheelchair, because it does take a lot to post a picture in my wheelchair, because I don't really have the confidence to do it, but at the same time, why shouldn't I? I'm no different. I'm not a different person. I've just got a different accessory. You might have a headband, I've got a wheelchair, but it is just an accessory. It doesn't change who I am. So thank you to whoever said that. I know I did message you separately, but I just want to say another thank you. The next one was, you hate your life and the wheelchair. Now, I don't know if I'm giving a different impression to how I feel. I do definitely not hate my life. My life is great considering everything going on. And the wheelchair, well, of course I'm not going to like it. It's not my best friend or anything like that, but it's given me so many opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I wasn't in the chair. So you do just have to find the best in every situation. So yeah, I'm not really going to touch more into that one, because that was a bit of a sensitive one for me, because I definitely don't hate my life. And yeah, okay, it's not where I want to be in a wheelchair, but we take it, we roll with it, quite literally. And then the last one I'm going to touch on, because I'm just mindful of how long this video already is people in wheelchairs cannot do what I do. Now, I'm sure she won't mind me saying this, but this was by one of my really good friends that said this, and I actually messaged her afterwards and said, I'm not going to be offended, but is this actually what you believe? Because this was really like apparent to me that people do actually think these things. And she was straight away like, no, this is what I thought when I was younger. But I know so many people that do believe that people that are less able than they are can't do what they do. Well, I like to think that I've proved quite a lot of people wrong, that I can't do what you do. I've gone to university, I do acting, I've got a placement, I go out and do stuff, I go out on nights out with all my friends. I can still do what you do. Yeah, okay, I can't climb a ladder, but there'll be stuff that you can do that I can't do, and there'll be stuff that I can do that you can't do. And that is just life. You just have to get on with it. And yeah, there's nothing different that I wouldn't be able to do, apart from the apparent, that you can do. So that for me was massive. But I'm just going to end this video just by saying this. So obviously it was Mental Health Awareness Week last week, and I did put a thing on my Instagram, but I just want to reiterate how I feel about it. So with Mental Health Awareness Week, it shouldn't just be that week people's mindsets change. It should be a mindset. It should be that those principles of Mental Health Awareness Week last a lifetime. And be kind, be caring. There's so many people in this world that something small that you might say to them is the biggest thing that can damage them physically, mentally, whatever, emotionally. So please guys, just be kind, please be caring, and if you did like this video, please just give it a massive thumbs up, pop some comments in and let me know what you guys want to see, or just message me on Instagram and just tell me. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope this video was like helpful and made some attempt of getting rid of some of those assumptions. So thanks guys.